Well, welcome back to Scrapping Irish again, another video. On this one again, we're going to continue on from when I done the grinding down of the powder. So now it's going to be time to get as much of the bigger stuff out of the powder as we can. So to do that, well, first off, welcome back, and to all my new subscribers, because I got a lot of new subscribers from the last video I did. So welcome, guys. Hopefully you've stuck around, and hopefully you'll stick around for even more of my videos coming up. So what have I got for you today? Well, first off, I'll be wearing gloves because again, people made comments in my previous video, hope you're wearing protective gear, blah blah blah, because they probably didn't see that I was wearing the protective gear, but you will see more of it in this video because my camera angle when I'm outside will be at a different angle, so you'll get to see more, hopefully. So I'll have the gloves on, we'll have our mask on, because again, this powder is so fine, we don't want to be breathing that powder in, as everyone says, it is very fine powder. We're going to be sieving out the big stuff, so we're going to start. I have a couple of different size sieves, so we're going to start with something like this, which is quite large. I'll be sieving the powder into here, so I'll just be shaking it in, and any of the bigger stuff will be held onto, and hopefully the smaller stuff will be getting through. So that'll be the first grade I'll be going through. Then I'll be moving to the next one, which is this one. So again, it's a bit smaller holes, so we're getting it down even finer again. Again, I'll be holding on to all the stuff that doesn't get through the sieves, and I'll be putting them into probably this bucket here. Then we'll fine it down again. So again, this is a bit finer mesh again, so we'll be getting it down even finer. And my final sieve will be through this flour sieve here, so you can see it's very fine. So anything that doesn't get through that then will be our finish, will be very fine stuff that will only get through that. So by the time we sieve through this, it should be very fine powder, and that'll be the powder I'm going to be working off. Any of the stuff that's left over in this bucket, I'll probably regrind again, and again sieve it out. So there's some powders left in there from when I done it last. So that's the plan. So I'm going to be going outside now. It's a bit breezy, so there will be a lot of dust, so hopefully the wind will take the stuff that doesn't contain any gold, because the gold should be that little bit heavier. Again, I'll try and keep it as low as possible into this container, so that I don't lose too much in the breeze. And again, I will have the mask on, so hopefully you will see in some part of the video me wearing this mask on it when I'm doing it. So we're going to go outside and get set up now. So again, I'm doing it outside, haven't built my shed yet, so it's going to be outside, and that way then shouldn't be breathing as much contaminants, and again with the mask on, hopefully none at all will be getting through. So let's go do it. And again, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you've just come across it and you're thinking about subscribing, why not subscribe? Check out some of the other videos, and join me on my lives, and we'll try and get this goal together. So let's go outside. Okay guys, so I am outside now. I've put the dust into smaller containers to make it easier to work with. So what I'm going to be doing, just to give you an example of what I'm doing, is I'm just pouring the dust in here, and all we're going to do is shake it out until no more dust comes through, and we're just left with stuff that cannot go through it. I have the mask on, I presume you can hear that, but you see the wind there taking the dust. So I'm hoping that there's no gold getting blown away, but I can't guarantee that. So the first sieve of it will take out most of the big stuff that won't go through them holes. Now there's still some glass and stuff gone through, as you can see down below, but most of it is taken out. So I'll just pour that in there for a minute, because again, that is going to get re-grinded down, because there may be still some gold bond wires attached to some of that. So again, show you again what I'm doing. So I'm just pouring that in there. and we'll just sieve it out. So straightforward, nothing to it. You can see the bigger parts that won't sieve out, that hasn't been grinded down enough yet, and most of it is the glass dyes or the silicon dyes, whatever way you want to call them. So a lot of that is silicon dust, so that is quite harmful to your lungs, so that's why wear a mask. Oh, took too many back in there, but we'll get them the next time, because that's the advantage of sieving it a few times. We're going to get everything eventually. So again, you can see just leave that there, so you can see what we're left with in here. So there is some fine powder still that needs to be, it was attached, so I can just put that through one more time and just try and get as much of that fine powder away from it. Okay, so that was straightforward. So I'm going to do the rest of the dust. I'll put you at a different angle so you can see it, and you might see me with my mask on, so that you can trust that I'm wearing my mask, because a lot of people, well, hold on, if I just flick the camera around, you should see my ugly mug. Hey, look at me with my mask. So there we go. I wasn't lying to people. Yeah, so I'm going to do the rest of the dust, and we'll come back when we're ready to go into the next stage of sieving, where we're going down to try and get more of the stuff out. So I'll put you at a different angle and let you watch what's happening. Okay guys, so we have done the first section of sieving, and this is what we're left with. Again, I can just give this a quick one more sieve just to see. You can see, just make sure all the dust is out. Okay, so again we have finished sieving, so we're going to sieve this again with the next grade of sieve, and we're going to bring it down. So we'll try and get rid of more of that. So I'm going to put these into the bucket here, which has the original dust, but I'm going to throw this into a different bucket actually, because I want to put this powder back in here and start to re-sieve it again. So let me set that up, and we'll be ready to go. Okay guys, so we're ready to sieve it again. So again, it's going to be this sieve first. So you see the holes are a little bit smaller than what we've already sieved, so we should be getting more stuff being held in the sieve, not getting through it. So only the fine powder should be getting through. So again, this is going to take a while. So what we'll do, you can see there, that's what's it catching now. That was the stuff that was missed the first time. So again, I have my waste bucket over here, where all the dyes are going into it. So any of the bits that were too big for the sieve will be going in there. So just make sure, yeah, so that's where they're going. So I'm going to continue on, do the rest of this. We'll speed it up so you don't have to watch it, so enjoy. Okay guys, so that was the second sieve, and you can see the amount of stuff is getting a lot bigger in there. So again, that's going to have to go through the grinder again, just to make sure we get any gold bond wires, because it could possibly be gold bond wires attached there. So I don't want to miss out on it, because this is my first time attempting it, so I want to make sure we're not missing anything. So again, this is going to be poured back in here, back into the containers, and we're going to sieve it. Now, you don't need to see me sieving it again for a third time. I'll do it off screen, and I'll put what we find from this sieve into another container, so you can actually see how fine I got it down again, how much more stuff we got. So come back and let's see how we got on. Okay guys, so we have sieved it, and this is what we got out of it. So again, that will go into the rest of them. We'll just add that in here, and so the final stage is going to be this sieve. So this sieve, as you can see, is very, very fine. It's used for icing sugar, sieving for icing sugar or icing, so powder, stuff like that. So it's very fine. So this is going to be the last stage. So we're going to put this back in the tub. We're going to sieve this, and we're going to get it down really fine to like a very fine powder. So let's go and do that now. So here we are, ready to sieve this. And so again, I just fill this up, well, not fill it, but put enough in there. You can see the wind taking some of the dust away. That's why the mask is so important. And we're just going to sieve this powder out, so it's very fine. I'm trying to keep it as low as possible so the wind doesn't take too much of it, because again, I don't know, will there be any gold bond wires getting blown away? Hopefully not. But as you can see, this is getting every last bit of the dies and little pins and stuff like that out of it, nearly. Now, probably could go finer again, but I think that's going to be fine enough for what I want to do. Again, I could be wrong, so tell me in the comments, do I need to go finer? What have you found that's finer than icing sugar? Or icing powder, as some people, as it's called. So again, we'll put that in there, over here in this tub, to be grinded down again further again, and ran through the whole process again. So I'm going to carry on doing this. We'll speed it up so you don't have to sit through it all, and well, at normal speed we'll speed it up, and we'll come back once we've that done. Okay guys, so that was the final sieve. So we have a very fine powder there now. I'm sure there's still bits of dyes in there and bits of metal, well, bits of metal. I'm going to go through that in another stage, and in a few minutes we'll talk about that. That's what's the last grind out of it, and you can see in here, this is the very fine stuff that we got left with. So again, I'm sure there's gold bond wires in there, in among that stuff. So it's going to go into this tub. and that'll be regrinded and re-sieved, and I'll put that in a separate container, because when we do the gold run, well, when we do the, hopefully, and get gold out of here, we'll have a look and see how much we would have missed if we just dumped that without regrinding it and refining it and redoing it again. So we're going to go in now and we're going to get a weigh up, and we'll see how much powder we've left and how much of this waste stuff that we took out of it. So we will see how we're getting on that. So let's go inside, and again, it'll be very fine dust, so I'll probably have my mask on just to make sure there's no vapor or dust being inhaled. Okay guys, so we're back inside. I still have my mask on, so as you can see by the very fine dust that's on my jumper, it's a good job I was wearing a mask to stop any of that fine dust getting into my lungs. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to just weigh up and see what amount of powder we're left with. So we're just going to get our zero first. So we are in pounds, so that's the zeroed, and we're going to bring over our fine powder. So we're down to 4.25. So if you look back at the last video, or if you're, I don't know when you're watching this, so if you look back at the previous video in this series, you will see how much I had before I done this sieving. Again, I'm not going to tell you because I want you to watch my video. So if you haven't watched that video, then you're going to have to go back and see what we started with. But I'll give you a hint. This might help you. That's what I've got of waste. Well, I'm saying waste, but it ain't waste yet. We're going to regrind all that and see what we're left with. Now, next stage is going to be having to remove any metal that is in there. So when I say metal, this is not an advertisement for that company. We'll hide that again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of the powder in here, and I'm going to show you what I mean about metal. So come back in a second when I pour that powder in, because I'm going to have to go back outside because I don't want to be putting dust all over the place in here. So I'll pause it and we'll be ready to go straight away. Okay, so I've poured some of the powder into this tin, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a magnet on the top of the tin like this. So just stick it here in the center, so you can see it's just stuck over there. So I'm going to lock down this container and I'm going to shake it. I should have really taken the name of the company off this container, but anyhow, I'm not promoting their hot chocolate, but it's nice. So you want a metal container for this. Now I'll let that settle for a second. Or better still, I'm going to go outside and open that because there will be dust fumes, I'm sure. Going to fly out, we'll have a quick look. Not too bad. So there you go. There's all the metal filings that is in that. So that's going to be a problem going forward if you're going to be using the assets. You don't want to be wasting assets on the metal pieces. There were the legs and stuff like that on it. So again, there may be some gold bond wire still attached to them legs, so I will grind them down as well. So I can put them probably in here. It'll be the easiest way to do it, and we can start pouring the fresh powder with less metal back into the container. So that's what I'm going to do off screen, because again, I need to get a bigger container maybe, but I'm going to probably have to carry on with this one for the moment. You can see there's still some powder there as well stuck to these. So again, I can probably sieve it and get rid of or do it again or whatever. But this powder can go in here, and the metal can go in here, and we'll be re-sieving all that anyhow at some stage. But you can see how much we got there just from that magnet catching it. So a lot of metal filings, and you know they're metal because if I move the magnet, they move. So that's all going to use up acid that I don't want to waste acid on. And can anyone see any gold bond wires stuck in there? Very hard to see. Maybe in here we'll have some. So I'm going to have to do a lot of this, and it's going to take a lot of time, so I'm not going to do it on video, but that's what you're going to have to do. Get a metal container, get a big magnet, stick it to the metal container, shake it, and you might have to do this 4 or 5 times the whole lot of the powder to get as much of the metal out as you can possibly can, because you don't want to be wasting your assets on metals. It's the gold bond wires we need to use our assets on. So that's what I'm going to do next. So when you come back, we should have what I might do is I might keep the metal filings in a separate container so you can see how much metal there was. There will be powder mixed in with it, I know that. But you'll see how much I have, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so I have filtered these completely. Well, not filtered, sorry. Used the magnet on them to remove as much of the metals as I can. I've done it 4 or 5 times, the whole bucket. It took a long time, and this is what I'm left with. So this is all metals. Now there is some powder in there, but you can see here, look at that. That's all your metal that I've taken out of it. There is still some powder in there which may contain some gold bond wires. So choice is, do I go after this metal to get the powder out even finer, spend more time at it? I don't think so. I could always just dump it into hydrochloric acid and let the acid dissolve all the base metal, and whatever's left should be some sort of precious metal usually. Well, be powder left that won't, like silicone or silica, which won't dissolve in the acid either. But then any of the fine particles could be, I could maybe put it in at the end with another batch of gold recovery. But I think that's what I'm going to do on it. Just leave it. And so the next stage is I'm going to grind these down again. Really grind them down and try and get as much gold against any gold bond wires attached to them. So sieve it right down again to the low powder. Use the magnet on it again, because again there will be a certain amount of this stuff will be magnetic, as you'll see when I move the magnet around it. So there's a lot of magnetic stuff still in there, and again it can have gold bond wires on it. So we'll see what we're going to do. But so I'm going to probably call the video at that, because I don't want to make the video too long. And I know people say, oh, you're dragging it out. Well, guys, this took between setting up, filtering, using the sieves to sieve it down and to get it down, and then getting the magnet through it. Good 3 to 4 hours work done there. And I still have to edit the video. So I'm not going to try and drag it on. I don't want to drag it on for everyone as well, making it an hour-long video and stuff like that. So I'm going to split it into portions that are easier for people to watch, hopefully. So again, hopefully you'll watch this, and next time I'll let you decide. Well, I won't let you decide. I'm still going to have a look about what's your suggestions on what to do to make this quantity of this material smaller, because we don't want to be putting acid through all this. So first off, I don't have a blue bowl, so can't do that. Don't have a shaker table, can't do that. So it looks like it's going to be the water and gravity method. So buckets of water and you letting gravity be your friend and hopefully get it that way. I'm not sure how good that is, but that looks like. Does anyone else have any suggestions? Would you run this through directly as it is now, straight into the acid? What else would you do with it before you go to that stage? Would you run it straight through nitric, dilute nitric, see what silver we get out of it, if there's any silver in there, and then process what's left in for gold recovery? Or would you use the water and bucket and gravity way of doing it? Let me know in the comments. Appreciate your advice back, guys. I say I haven't done it before, so hopefully I've done it right so far. May not have done it right so far. May have messed it up somewhere along the line, but hopefully we've got it down that we can get the gold bond wires out of that. So as always, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched the first video, there's a link going to appear up here now to let you know that so you can go back and watch where this stuff came from, what we started with. So if you just stumbled upon the channel and you go, what's this stuff he's doing, watch that video that popped up there. I'll put it at the end as well, so you can watch it there. So as always, thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and share it out if you wish. And see you on the next one. And as always, thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one. And keep on looking for that gold. It's in there somewhere.